Hey guys, and welcome to today's edition of Ace This Grill. I'm Chef Jason, your Ace Hardware grilling expert. We're hanging out today talking about 1 year, or what we call that annual maintenance for your Traeger grill. And the best part about it is Traeger even gives us the tools to maintain and keep these grills really rocking that wood-fired smoke for years with just a little bit of maintenance. All right, as you can tell from the grills that we have in front of you today, we've got that beautiful Ironwood 650 on the right side. We've got the amazing Pro 575 on the left side. Our maintenance is gonna be the same on these guys with the exception of that chimney, which we're gonna talk about because we're gonna go through these guys from top to bottom and show you how fast and easy it is to maintain these grills and keep them running at their peak. All right, when it comes to the Pro Series, the only difference between the Pro Series and the Ironwood from a maintenance standpoint is gonna be the chimney stack, right? And I wanna make sure, like, if you see this, look at how wobbly that is, right? I'm gonna go through here and just check this guy real quick, but I'll tell you what, it also gives you an opportunity to flip that guy over and inspect the underside and make sure that is clean as well. So before we get into the deep cleaning, which we've got a video for, we're gonna go ahead and get this snugged down. Now, Traeger sends a wrench with you when it comes to these grills, so it's easy to build, but it's also super easy to get in there, make sure this guy is all snug down and ready to go. All right, now we're over on the Ironwood, and one of the first things I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my Traeger screwdriver and I'm gonna go through and check the little holders, right? These help keep the lid from flying back and opening too far, but I'm gonna check these guys, make sure those are nice and snug. And I wanna be careful too, not to over tighten. I'm not looking to strip anything. I just wanna make sure they're tight. Now, look at this. I'm gonna go side to side because I wanna make sure that my lid doesn't have a lot of play. And what I'm gonna do is now, using the same Traeger screwdriver, I will get back here, loosen this guy just a little bit. And now I can actually tap that over, tighten that up, and make sure that my lid is aligned as well. And I'm gonna go through here, you know, just from heating and cooling, these Traegers can loosen up and those fittings can loosen up a little bit. But now look at this. I don't have any play in there and it opens nice. Now it's time to check the handle because, you know, I wanna make sure that handle from getting yanked around all the time is nice and tight. So now that we have the lid open, we wanna go up into the opening here and just tighten those guys down and make sure they're tight. Not over tight, but just nice and snug. Now, on the Ironwood series, you're gonna be able to go through here and feel that gasket. And you can see my gasket is pretty well gone, right? This guy gets a lot of mileage. I cook on these grills a lot. I do a lot of low and slow. I do a lot of hot and fast. So I'm looking at this gasket. I now know, hey, you know what? I'm gonna go to my local Ace. I'm gonna have them get me a new gasket. If you have one of the Pro Series grills that has the side handle, go ahead and give that a nice firm tug. Make sure that is set and solid and ready to go. The screws for that are gonna be inside the barrel of the grill. And again, remember, we're not over tightening. We just want these to be nice and snug, making sure that handle stays stuck when we need to use it. All right, so now if you have a side shelf, it's time to get in there again with the screwdriver and tighten up that side shelf and make sure that those are tight as well, because you don't want this to be wobbling around. You want that to give you a nice stable area where you can set some of your cooking tools. Well, one of the beautiful parts of doing my annual maintenance too is really getting a chance to see everything, right? Obviously, we are getting ready to get this grill reset for our next cooking adventure, so we're gonna change our foil as well. But here's what I wanna do first. I wanna take this grill grate off and I want to inspect the grill grate. How does it look? Is there anything flaking off? This is just a little barbecue patina, like I said, but I wanna make sure that the coating isn't coming off and we're not rusted. So that looks to be great. And now what I'll do is look at the bottom grate for the same effect. I want to make sure that this grate is all set and ready to go and doesn't have any rust spots or anything is deteriorating, and this looks to be in good condition as well. The beauty of taking these Traegers apart is now I'm able to get inside and really inspect the barrel of this grill to make sure that, you know, everything is fine and everything is working good. And kind of what I look for first is I'm going to check that temperature probe out and make sure that that is doing a good job. Now, you may look at the inside of this barrel and think it is time to clean it, and definitely we are getting ready to clean, and this annual maintenance fell at a perfect time. But I don't clean my grills back to brand new. I want to leave some of that barbecue patina in there there and leave some of that seasoning and smoke as well. Now, first thing I'm gonna check is the drip tray. We take our liner off, we take our foil off, and I'm just checking this to make sure nothing has burned through. That rust that you're gonna see on there is absolutely, totally normal. Drip tray is gone, and now we've got the heat deflector. So we take that out and we give that an inspection as well. Just trying to make sure that nothing has burned through there. We sure do subject those to some pretty high temperatures. But now that you're inside here in the barrel itself, I get to look down into the fire pot. I'm gonna tighten those 4 wing nuts, make sure that they're strong. And then I'm gonna check down into the fire pot itself and make sure that it is good and clean. And I'm not worried about any of that rust. That is gonna be normal. That's just part of the effects of subjecting this to a lot of heat, a cool, a lot of moisture, etc. Then the downdraft exhaust system. I'm going to check in those 2 ports vents in the back and make sure that we don't have any buildup. A little bit of ash is normal, but that is great. Then right down on this side here, I'm going to check into the grease channel. I want to make sure that that channel is free and clear and nothing has deteriorated or rusted through. And then also I'm going to check the tunnel down into the grease bucket. But once you get that inside view into your barrel, it really gives you an opportunity to double check everything and make sure you're going to be set for a lot of happy cooking ahead. Now we're getting into the pellet hopper. And I'll tell you what, draining your pellet hopper really does a lot for you. And like I said, we've got a great video showing you that deep clean, but I always want to give the hopper a look. I want to look at the pellets. I want to make sure that they're nice and fresh. I want to make sure they're shiny and they're not expanded like some moisture has gotten in there. Then I'll tell you what, on any of the WiFire grills, check your temperature probe as well. I want to make sure that nothing has gotten in here. It's still sealed. I want to make sure the cable is good. Nothing is kinked or pinched or frayed. Just some good visual inspections on that. And it looks like we are set to go. And then, you know, just carefully making sure I get this all wrapped back up and set back in its little storage area. But a little bit of pellet hopper maintenance goes a long way. Again, if you want to empty this out the back dump door, get these guys emptied and then double check that as well, but making sure that is set. Next up, I'm going to check out the legs, right? I want to make sure that those Allen bolts are nice and tight. And I've got the nuts on the back side, the bolt on the front side, but I'm going to make sure those are tight on all 4 corners. And then I'm going down to the wheel to make sure those guys are tight. And you can see we've got a nut back there to tighten as well. And then I'm going to check these guys out right here and make sure those 4 bolts are nice and tight, keeping that little side panel that connects the wheels together firm as well. But I'll tell you, once you take a look at this grill, really from top to bottom, it's about maintenance and it's pretty simple. We're only talking maybe, you know, a 20-minute endeavor, but getting it all clean, getting it all set and definitely dialed in. Well, if you've seen our care videos before, you know that we talk a lot about the care and maintenance of a grill being a lot like automobile maintenance, really doing that preventative work and keeping things adjusted, tightened, cleaned, all of that good stuff is going to ensure these are going to last forever. These are well-built grills, and with a little bit of work on our end, we're going to be able to keep these guys running forever. And you saw that this guy was dirty, right? You saw that this needs a deep cleaning. I'll tell you what, at the end of today's video, we've got a really cool video, how to clean your Traeger. We're going to show you some awesome tips, some awesome tools, and a lot of cool things, how to get these guys deep cleaned and running at their peak performance. Then, don't forget, today, we've got a tip sheet for you down below in our description section. You can head down there, click, print, and follow along. The cool part of this tip sheet is I use it as a checklist, but then I also use it to scribble notes because, as you saw, I need a new gasket for my lid on my Ironwood. So I write that down on here. I head into my local Ace Hardware, grab my parts, come back here, and keep this running at its peak performance. Now, a little bit of homework for you today for today's video, right? Head down into that comment section below and tell us, what would you like to see? How could we be more helpful? And what other care and maintenance videos would you like to see? Or what cooking videos would you like to see? Make sure you let us know, because this YouTube channel is all about you and keeping you full of content to fuel some amazing grilling. Then, while you're down there, don't forget to click the notifications, subscribe to the Ace Hardware YouTube channel, then tell all of your friends it is time for them to subscribe. Hey, don't keep this a secret. It is time to share with everyone so that everyone can get on, like, this was awesome content, right? Like, this is definitely like hanging out on the couch, watching how to maintain and get your grill dialed in. Don't let them miss out. Like I said before, at the end of today's video, be sure to click on our next video where we're going to show you how to deep clean this and really get it set and ready to go. Hey, I'm Chef Jason Morse, your Ace Hardware grilling expert. Thanks for hanging out with us today. We will see you soon at your local Ace Hardware.